HSPM 233, exam number 2, Chapter 5, 6, 7 exam questions. What is an infrared, laser, thermometers? Less chance for cross-contamination, cannot measure air temperature or the internal temperature of food, quick and easy to use as they do not need to touch a surface to check its temperature. Storage of poultry. Store in its own storage unit or in coldest part of cooler. Ice-packed poultry can be stored in a cooler as is * use SNLF draining containers * change the ice and sanitize the container after. What is an example of date marking for a combined dish? Shrimp and sausage jambalaya prepared on December 4th, * shrimp has use-by date of December 8th * sausage has a use-by date of December 10th. Use-by date of the jambalaya is December 8th. What are the 5 good policies and procedures but not limited to avoid time temperature abuse? Monitoring tools recording time and temperature control corrective actions. Which thermometer, S, is best for measuring the temperature of this? Hamburger patty A, bimetallic stem B, thermocouple C, infrared. The answer is B. Thermocouples and thermistors are good for checking the temperatures of thin food since they do not need to be inserted very far into the food to get an accurate reading. Bimetallic stem thermometers are not practical for checking the temperature of thin food, such as hamburger patties. That's because they have to be inserted into the food from the tip of the stem to the sensing area. Labeling food that is packaged on-site for retail sale. Must include common name of the food or state that clearly identifies it. Quantity of the food. List of ingredients in descending order by weight. If the item contains 2 or more ingredients. List of artificial colors and flavors in the food. Chemical preservatives must also be listed. Key drop deliveries. Receipt of food after hours. When the operation is closed for business, products are then placed in coolers, freezers, and dry storage areas. Delivery must be inspected once you arrive at the operation and must meet the following conditions: from an approved supplier, was placed in the correct storage location, has not been contaminated, honestly presented. What are the following features of a bimetallic stem thermometers? A. Calibration net. B. Easy to read marking. C. Dimple. D. Cast. A, B, C. Would you accept or reject it? Eggs received at an air temperature of 50 F, 10 C, A, accept. B, reject. The answer is B. Shell eggs must be received at an air temperature of 45 F, 7 C, or lower. What are 3 types of commonly used thermometers for monitoring food temps? Bimetallic stem thermometers, thermocouples, thermistors, digital stem thermometer. What are the receiving temperatures requirements? Cold TCS food, 41 F or lower. Hot TCS food, 135 F or higher. Frozen food, should be frozen solid. Milk, 45 F or lower, must be cooled to internal temperature of 41 F or lower in 4 hours. Eggs, air temperature 45 F or lower. Shucked shellfish, 45 F or lower, must be cooled to 41 F or lower in 4 hours. Live shellfish, air temperature of 45 F or lower, internal temp not greater than 50 F, cool to an internal temperature to 41 F or lower in 4 hours. What temperature is TCS foods abused? What is this called? 41 F and 135 F temperature danger zone. What is the bimetallic stem thermometer most useful for to check the temperature? Checking the temperature of large or thick foods, not good for thin foods like hamburger patties. Which type of thermometer can read temperature without touching the item's surface? A. TTIB, infrared. C. Air probe. D. Immersion probe. B. What is required when receiving fish that will be served raw or partially cooked? A. It must be alive when received. B. It must be thawed in the microwave. C. It must be used within 24 hours of receiving. D. It must be correctly frozen before you receive it. D. What is the order of refrigerator storage? Top to bottom order. 1. Ready-to-eat food. 2. Seafood. 3. Whole cuts of beef and pork. 4. Ground meat and ground fish. 5. Whole and ground poultry. How far above the floor should food be stored? A. At least 1 inch, 3 centimeters. B. At least 2, 5 centimeters. C. At least 4, 10 centimeters. D. At least 6, 15 centimeters. D. What are two ways to calibrate a thermometer? Ice point method, boiling point method. What is a small diameter probe? A thermometer used to check the internal temperature of thin food such as meat patties and fish fillets. What temperature do pathogens grow especially fast? 70 F and 125 F, 21 C and 52 C. Which thermometer, S, is best for measuring the temperature of this? Roast A, bimetallic stem, B, thermocouple, C, infrared. The answers are A and B. Bimetallic stem thermometers are good for checking the temperature of large or thick food, like this roast. Thermocouples and thermistors are good for checking the temperature of thick and thin food. An infrared thermometer is not a good choice because it can only check the surface temperature of the product. Example of corrective action. A hot food that has not been held at the correct temperature may be reheated to 165 F, 74 C, for 15 seconds if it has not been in the temperature danger zone for more than 2 hours. What are the colors of each different types of food? Using separate equipment. Green, fruits and vegetables yellow, raw poultry blue, cooked food white, dairy products tan, fish and seafood red, raw meat purple, allergens. Would you accept or reject it? Milk received at 45 F, 7 C, A, accept, B, reject. The answer is A. Milk must be received at 45 F, 7 C, or lower. Cool the milk to 41 F, 5 C, or lower in 4 hours. What are the two conditions for live shellfish? Clams, oysters, mussels, and scallops can be stored in a display tank. 1. If not served to customers, tank has a sign stating that the shellfish are for display only. 2. Serving to customers, obtain variants from the local regulatory authority allowing shellfish to be served to customers. What does inspected mean? Does not mean free of pathogens, rather, that the product and processing plant have met defined standards. What device can be used to record time temperature abuse during the delivery of food? A. Thermocouple. B. Thermistor. C. Time temperature indicator. D. Bimetallic stem thermometer. C. What is the most important factor in choosing a food supplier? A. It has a HACCP program or other food safety system. B. It has documented manufacturing and packaging practices. C. Its warehouse is close to the operation, reducing shipping time. D. It has been inspected and complies with local, state, and federal laws. D. What are the guidelines when notified of a recall? Identify the recalled food items, remove the item from inventory, label the item, refer to the vendor's notification. Ice point method. One. Fill a large container with crushed ice. Add tap water until the container is full. 2. Put thermometer stem or probe into the ice water. 3. Adjust the thermometer so it reads 32 F, 0 C. When does the count day begins? The day that the food was prepared or a commercial container was opened. What 8 immersion probes used for? Used to check the temperatures of liquids such as soups, sauces, and frying oil. Milk can be received at 45 F, 7 C, under what condition? A. It is thrown out after 2 days. B. It is cooled to 41 F, 5 C, or lower in 4 hours. C. It is immediately cooled to 41 F, 5 C, or lower. D. It is served or used in operation within 2 hours. B. What must be included on the label of TCS food that was prepped in-house? A. Date that the food was received. B. Name of each TCS ingredient included. C. Date that the food should be thrown out. D. List of all potential ingredients in the food. C. Storage of meat. Store in its own storage unit or in coldest part of cooler if removed from original packaging. Wrap in airtight, moisture-proof material or place in clean and sanitized containers. Can this prevent cross-contamination? Why? Buying pre-cut lettuce for salads. A. Yes. B. No. The answer is A. Buying food that doesn't require much prepping or handling, such as pre-cut lettuce, can help prevent cross-contamination. Thermocouples and thermistors. Display temperatures digitally, sensing area on the tip of their probe food for checking the temperature of both thick and thin food. What is the temperature for a bimetallic stem thermometer can check? 0°F to 220°F, minus 18°C to 104°C. What are the guidelines to improve the receipt of deliveries? Scheduling staff needs, good preparation, timing of inspection. Example/definition of buying prepared food, guidelines of preventing cross-contamination. Buy food items that do not require much prepping or handling, pre-cooked chicken breasts or chopped lettuce. Why do malefactors sometimes may do a recall? When food contamination occurs, mislabeled or misbranded food. Recording. Have food handlers record temperatures regularly. Make sure they write down when the temperatures were taken. Provide samples forms for recording this info next to cooking and holding equipment. What is ROP? The reduction of the oxygen in a package by mechanically evacuation the oxygen, displacing the oxygen with another gas or combination of gases. When storing food using the FIFO method, where should the food with the earliest use by dates be stored? A. Below food with later use by dates. B. Behind food with later use by dates. C. In front of food with later use by dates. D. Alongside food with later use by dates. C. What are penetration probes used for? To check the internal temperature of food. Boiling point method. 1. Bring clean tap water to a boil in a deep pan. 2. Put thermometer stem or probe into the boiling water. 3. Adjust the thermometer so it reads 212 F, 100 C. How is rotation stored? Items with the earliest use by or expiration dates are used before those with later dates. Cleaning the surfaces of some cans of tomato sauce so that they can be accepted is an example of A. Reconditioning. B. Spot inspecting. C. Calibrating. D. Documenting. A. At what temperature do most foodborne pathogens grow most quickly? A. Between 0°F and 41°F, minus 17 and 5°C. B. Between 45°F and 65°F, 7°C and 18°C. C. Between 70°F and 125°F, 21 and 52°C. D. Between 130°F and 165°F, 53°C and 74°C. C. How long can ready-to-eat TCS food be stored and what temperature should it be stored at? 7 days 41°F, 5°C, or lower. What are the guidelines for preventing cross-contamination? Asterisk using separate equipment. Asterisk cleaning and sanitizing. Asterisk prepping food at different times. Asterisk buying prepared food. How should cartons of coleslaw be checked for the correct receiving temperature? A. Check the interior air temperature of the delivery truck. B. Open a carton and insert a thermometer stem into the food. C. Place a thermometer against the outside of the carton. D. Touch the carton to see if it is cold. B. What is FIFO method? 1. Identify food items use by or expiration date. 2. Store items with earliest use by or expiration dates in front of items with later dates. 3. 1. Shelved, use items stored in from first. 4. Throw out food that has passed its manufacturer's use by or expiration date. What does an infrared, laser, thermometer measure? The surface temperatures of food and equipment. What is the calibration used for? To adjust the thermometer to make it accurate. A food handler has finished trimming raw chicken on a cutting board and needs it to prep vegetables. What must be done to the cutting board? A. It must be dried with a paper towel. B. It must be turned over to the other side. C. It must be washed, rinsed, and sanitized. D. It must be rinsed in hot water and air dried. C. Example of cleaning and sanitizing, guidelines of preventing cross-contamination. Clean and sanitize all work surfaces, equipment, and utensils after each task. Time temperature abuse of TCS food occurs when cooked to the wrong minimum internal temperature, held at the wrong temperature, cooled or reheated incorrectly. How long can ready-to-eat TCS food that was prepped in-house be stored if it was held at 41 F, 5 C? A. 3 days B. 5 days C. 7 days D. 9 days C. Storage of fish. Very sensitive, keep fillets and steaks in its original package fresh, then be packed in flaked or crushed ice. How far should we insert the bimetallic stem thermometer? Insert the stem into the food up to the dimple. What should we focus on when inspecting deliveries? Temperature, packaging documents and stamps, food quality. Tools. Make sure the correct kinds of thermometers are available. Give good handlers their own thermometers. Have them use timers in prep areas to check how long food is in the temperature danger zone. How far must a bimetallic stem thermometer be inserted into food to give an accurate reading? A. Up to the tip of the thermometer stem. B. Just past the tip of the thermometer stem. C. Past the dimple of the thermometer stem. D. Up to the dimple of the thermometer stem. D. Storage of shellfish. Shucked shellfish at an internal temp of 41 F or lower. Live shellfish at an air temp of 41 F or lower. Keep shell stock identification tags on file for 90 days from the date the last shellfish was sold or served from the container. How far should we store items away from walls and floor? 6 inches, 15 centimeters. Which thermocouple probe should be used when measuring temperature in this situation? Stake A. Immersion probe. B. Surface probe. C. Penetration probe. D. Air probe. The answer is C. Penetration probes are used to check the internal temperature of food, such as this steak. Would you accept or reject it? Meat received at 40 F, for C. A. Accept. B. Reject. The answer is A. Cold TCS food, such as meat, must be received at 41 F, 5 C, or lower, unless otherwise specified. What probe should be used to check the temperature of a large stockpot of chili? A. Air probe. B. Surface probe. C. Immersion probe. D. Penetration probe. C. What are surface probes used for? To check the temperature of flat cooking equipment such as griddles. Which thermocouple probe should be used when measuring temperature in this situation? Fryer oil. A. Immersion probe. B. Surface probe. C. Penetration probe. D. Air probe. The answer is A. Immersion probes are used to check the temperature of liquids such as soups, sauces, and frying oil. Frozen shrimp is rejected during receiving for having large ice crystals on the food and packaging. What is the problem that caused this? A. Cross-contact. B. Cross-contamination. C. Time temperature abuse. D. Incorrect cleaning and sanitizing. C. Date marking. Ready-to-eat TCS food must include date if it will be held for longer than 24 hours. Must indicate when the food must be sold, eaten, or thrown out. What are the general thermometer guidelines? Asterisk cleaning and sanitizing, asterisk calibration, asterisk accuracy, asterisk glass thermometers. After how many hours do we have to throw away TCS foods when they have spent in the temperature danger zone? 4 hours. Which thermocouple probe should be used when measuring temperature in this situation? Cooler temperature. A. Immersion probe. B. Surface probe. C. Penetration probe. D. Air probe. The answer is D. An air probe is good for checking the temperature inside coolers and ovens. Infrared, laser, thermometer, distance. Hold the thermometer as close to the food or equipment as you can without touching it. What is the problem with storing raw ground beef above prepared salads? A. Cross-contamination. B. Poor personal hygiene. C. Time temperature abuse. D. Cross-contact with allergens. A. What are examples of using separate equipment? Guidelines for preventing cross-contamination. Separate equipment when preparing each type of food. Colored cutting boards and utensils handles can help you keep equipment separate. Would you accept or reject it? Hot TCS food received at 120 F, 49 C. A. Accept. B. Reject. The answer is B. Hot TCS food must be received at 135 F, 57 C, or higher. What are the guidelines of infrared, laser, thermometers? Distance barriers. Manufacturer's directions. Live shellfish must be received with what documentation? A. Shell stock identification tag. B. USDA inspection stamp. C. Certified fisheries tag. D. USDA grading stamp. A. Monitoring. Learn which foods items should be checked, how often, and by whom. Assign duties to food handlers in each area. Make sure they understand what to do, how to do it, and why it is important. Labeling food that is packaged on-site for retail sale. Cont. Label must include name and place of business of the manufacturer, packer, or distributor. Source of each major food allergen contained in the food. Can this prevent cross-contamination? Why? Prepping meat on a red cutting board. A.esb.no. The answer is A. Using separate equipment can help prevent cross-contamination. Colored cutting boards and utensil handles can help keep equipment separate. The color tells food handlers which equipment to use with each type of food. What should be done with an item that has been recalled? A. Throw it out. B. Arrange a pickup from the vendor. C. Record the item's use-by date, and place the item in storage. D. Remove the item from inventory, and place it in a secure location. D. Would you accept or reject it? Flour. A. Accept. B. Reject. The answer is B. The water stain on the flour bag shows that the flour had become wet at some point. Reject items with leaks, dampness, or water stains, which means the item was wet at some point. What is an example of date marking? Potato salad prepared and stored on October 1st would have a discard date of October 7th on the label. What is an air probe? A thermometer used to check the temperature inside coolers and ovens. Would you accept or reject it? Live oysters received at an internal temperature of 50 F, 10 C. A. Accept. B. Reject. The answer is A. Live oysters, mussels, clams, and scallops must be received at an air temperature of 45 F, 7 C, and an internal temperature no greater than 50 F, 10 C. Once received, the shellfish must be cooled to 41 F, 5 C, or lower in 4 hours. Would you accept or reject it? Frozen shrimp. A. Accept. B. Reject. The answer is B. The shrimp shows evidence of thawing and refreezing. There are ice crystals and frozen liquids on the food and the packaging. This may be evidence of thawing and refreezing, which shows the food has been time temperature abused. Example of prepping food at different times. Guidelines of preventing cross-contamination. Prepare raw meat, fish, and poultry at different times than ready-to-eat food. What is the best method of checking the temperature of a delivery of fresh fish? A. Feel the fish, making sure that it is cold to the touch. B. Insert a thermometer probe into the thickest part of the fish. C. Place a time temperature indicator on the surface of the fish. D. Use an infrared thermometer to check the fish's temperature. B. A thermometer used to measure the temperature of food must be accurate to what temperature? A. +/2F or +/1CB /4F or +/3*CC +/6F or +/5CD +/8F or +/7C. A. Labeling food for use on-site. Must include common name of the food. A statement to clearly and accurately identifies it. Infrared, laser, thermometer, manufacturer's directions. Always follow the manufacturer's guidelines for most accurate readings. What is the correct temperature for receiving cold TCS food? A. 32F, 0C, or lower. B. 41F, 5C, or lower. C. 45F, 7C, or lower. D. 50F, 10C, or lower. B. When is the discard date of a combined food? When combing food in a dish with different use-by dates, the discard date of the dish should be based on the earliest prepared food. In top to bottom order, how should a fresh pork roast, fresh salmon, a container of lettuce and a pan of fresh chicken breasts be stored in a cooler? A. Lettuce, fresh salmon, fresh pork roast, fresh chicken breasts. B. Fresh salmon, fresh pork roast, fresh chicken breasts, lettuce. C. Lettuce, fresh chicken breasts, fresh pork roast, fresh salmon. D. Fresh salmon, lettuce, fresh chicken breasts, fresh pork roast. A. Infrared, laser, thermometer, barriers. Remove anything between the thermometer and the food package, or equipment. Avoid taking readings through metal, such as stainless steel or aluminum. Do not take readings through glass.